Hello students, today we are going to see all about the file and directory manipulation commands. So let us begin with. Total we are going to discuss 11 things. First is the cat command. The cat command is actually we have already seen one use of this cat command. This is used to create a file and it is also used to display the contents of a file. Then second command is head command. So this particular command is useful to see suppose topmost lines present in your file. By default you can see 10 lines, but you can also put a specific number. Means say suppose a file is given to me and I am only interested in seeing that first 20 lines of that file, then this head command is used. Opposite to head command is the tail command. So here the bottommost lines are visible. By default 10 lines are visible, but you can also manipulate it as per your need. Then next is the touch command. So this command is used to create empty files. Cat command is used to put content in a file, but touch command is used to create new and empty file. Then next is the ls command. This command is used to display the list of files or directories present in the current working directory. And we will be using a lot of options for this particular ls command. This command is actually very powerful if we utilize it with options and different attributes provided by the operating system. Then next is the rm command. Now say suppose you have created a file and you want to remove it, then this rm command is used. Then next is mv command. Suppose a given file is there, you want to rename it, then this particular file could be, this particular command could be utilized. Then next command is cp command. So this cp stands for copy command. You will be creating an exact copy of the existing file. Then next is join command. Suppose two files are given to you. Then based on some common element that is present in both the files, you want to combine it, then the join command is used. Then split command is used. Split command is used to say suppose you are having a very large file and you want to break down that particular large file, then by default 1000 lines per file could be created, but it also could be manipulated. Means like say suppose I want to split my larger file into numerous files of size 10 lines, then I can use this split command. Then next is the file saving and redirection operator. Under this we are going to see two operators. First is this less than symbol. So this particular symbol is used to provide, means say suppose you will be given input and that input would be stored in some particular output file, right? Then last one is this double less than symbol. This actually is used to append the content of input to the output. So in all, we are going to see all these different commands under this particular practical. Now, the first command that I have discussed was the cat command. So today we are going to create files, right? So first what we have to do, type here cat. Then this symbol is to be used, less than symbol, right? And then say suppose I want to create a file called as sample1.txt, right? See, remember that this symbol is very, very essential, less than symbol. Otherwise your file will not be created. Then after this, suppose I want to type the contents of this file. So I'll press here enter, right? And then here, so suppose I will write some content. This is sample file 1. So suppose I will go on writing like this, whatever I want to type here. And say suppose after creating this file, I have to close this file. Means I have to save this file. So the command that is utilized is Control D. So whether this particular file is created or not, so again I will use cat command and space sample1.txt. See the difference. When I was creating file, I was using this less than symbol, Here I am not using this particular symbol because here I am creating it and here I am seeing the content of the file. So here after pressing enter, the content of sample file 1 is displayed. So this is how you can create a file and you can see the contents of the file. I'll show you one more demo of this. Say suppose again I am going to create a file called as say suppose sample2.txt. Press enter and here say suppose you type whatever content you want to store here. So say suppose I will write here sample file 2 and what you have to do here, press Ctrl D simultaneously. Ctrl D to save the file. Now again if I want to see the content of this file, cat space sample2.txt. Right? So this is my first command to create a file and to see the contents of the file. Now, next command that we have discussed was head command, right? Now, if you recall it, we have created one large file when we have discussed the second practical. That file was myfile.txt, isn't it? Means we have seen the use of script command. Now, since this is the large file that I am currently having, so I will work with this particular file to show you this particular head and tail command. So this is a large file. Now say suppose what the head command does is that it will display by default 10 lines. Say suppose if I type here head my file dot txt, right? So see here, first 10 lines are displayed here. By default 10 lines are displayed. Now say suppose I want that only 5 lines should be displayed. Then I will put their head, then option dash dash 5, then my file dot txt. So see here only 5 lines from that files are displayed. So this is the use of the head command. It is used to read the first 10 lines of file. 10 lines are by default, but you can manipulate it as per your requirement, right? Now opposite to head is the tail command. So again I will be using myfile.txt. So this will show me the last 10 lines of this particular file. Now again, I could manipulate this as per my need, right? So here instead of say suppose 10, I say want to say last 5 lines. So I will be typing there -5 myfile.txt and last 5 lines are displayed. Now, this particular tail command also provides you one particular option, that is say suppose I want to see the content of this file from the 20th line. So what I could do, plus 20 L my file dot txt. And what will be the content of this command? This will display the content of the file from the 20th line present in the myfile.txt. So here I will press enter and the content from plus 20th line is displayed, right? So this is how you can use the tail command as per your need, right? You can play around this, trying it with different files, and then you can see the difference here. So head displays the top lines and the tail displays the bottom lines of a particular file. Now after this, next command is touch command. So simply say suppose now I want to create a file called as pqr, right? Just now we have seen the cat command. So I'm not going to use that cat command to create a file. Instead of that, I will be creating one file called as pqr.txt. Now press enter. So this file is created, but let us check whether it has any content. So pqr.txt. So here, since the file is empty, you won't see any content within it, isn't it? And that is the use of the touch command. Touch command creates an empty file. Now, in this way, you can create new files using the touch command, but the file will be empty. Now, after this, we are going to see the ls command, right? Now, as I have told you, what is the use of ls command? It will display the list of files present in the current working directory. So let us see the output of this ls command. So see here all these different files are displayed, and this blue colored thing are nothing but the folders. Now this ls command is actually very powerful. We can utilize it in numerous ways. So I'm going to display you certain options associated with this. Now say suppose the first option I'm going to use is ls minus a. Okay. Now observe the output. See here, the earlier list is displayed here, but other than that, see here dot local. Such types of files are also displayed. Now this dot indicates that these are hidden files. So ls minus a option displays all the files including the hidden files. If you just use ls command, these hidden files are not displayed. So this is the first option. Now say suppose I am interested in seeing only directories. So I will use ls minus t. Now see here, it has given me the output dot. The reason is that this is the main root directory here, and hence this output is displayed here, right? Now next option used is ls minus I. Okay, let us see the output of this. Now here some additional information is displayed. Other than the name of the file, here some numbers are displayed here. Now these numbers are nothing but the inode numbers. Inode means what? These are the file descriptors associated with this particular file or folder. So this I stands for inode number. Now actually this is a Linux jargon that inode numbers are used for identification of files or directories. So minus I option displays inode. Now next we are going to see permissions associated with every file or folder. So here ls minus l. Now observe here all the files are displayed here. Say suppose this file is there. Now here a lengthy string is there. In the next practical we will go in depth what is the use of this particular string. So these are nothing but the permissions associated with this particular file. Say suppose AA, right? We have just created it. So this command will return me the inode number associated with this particular file. So instead of missing all the inode numbers, if you just want to know the inode number of one particular file, just write the name of your file in front of it. I will show you some more usage of this. Remember this question mark, okay? This indicates one character, right? And suppose if I utilize star, this means all the characters. So we will see the use of this star and the question mark. Now suppose I am interested in knowing how many files are there whose name is only of 3 characters, 3 characters in length. So I will type here ls and then 3 question mark. Remember, this question mark means only one character. So here press enter, and what will be the output? See, these many files are there whose name is having only 3 characters. So this one question mark indicates one character, right? Now say suppose I am interested in knowing the names of those files which start with M but which ends with xt, right? So what command I will use? ls. Now say suppose our command is that it will start with M, then in between I don't care how many characters are there, so I'll put here star. Star means 0 or more characters, and I want that file to end with xt, isn't it? So let us see what will be the output of this. So only one file is there which starts with character M and which ends with character xt. So see here, by combining some special characters, how powerful this ls command is. Now say suppose we will try one more query. Suppose I am interested that I want the list of all file names which start with S and which ends with numbers from 1 to 5. All the files which starts with character S and ends with number 1 to 5. So how to write this particular command? So I will put here ls. Now my list should start with S. Now say suppose I don't care what is in between S and the last character. So I will put here star. Now I want this particular files to end with 1 to 5, isn't it? So I have to utilize here square brackets. Now there are two ways to write this. First I will show you first method. So 1 dash 5 and close this file. See what will be the output of this. This will display me all the files which starts with character S and which is ending with any of the number from 1 to 5. So in this way, you could utilize this ls command as per your requirement. Now let us say again there is one more way to write this command ls star 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have used hyphen, but instead of that you could directly use there the numbers that you're searching for. So let us see the output. Again I will get the same output. All the files starting with S and ending with the number from 1 to 5. So this is how your ls command could be utilized, right? Now next command is rm command. Rm command is used to say suppose delete a file. Now let us say this A file is there and I want to remove this file. So I will put here rm, then AAA, my file name. So let us press enter. Now suppose let us again try to see whether this file is present or not. So it will say no such file or directory. So rm command is used to remove or delete a file. Now I will again tell you one more careful thing you should be about. Suppose if you put here rm star, never ever use this command. See, this is very powerful command. See, this star means what? It will remove or delete all your files and you don't want that, isn't it? So I am never going to use this command rm star. So simply rm and your whatever your file that you want to remove. I'll show you one more particular command, that is say suppose your mv command. Now say suppose let us check whether we are having abc.txt file. Okay, it is not there. Now we are having sample1 file, right? We have just created there. So suppose there is a need for me to rename that sample1.txt file to say suppose I will just rename it to my file2.txt. You have just now seen it that my file 2.txt is not existing, isn't it? Only say suppose sample1 is present here, which I have just created using the cat command, isn't it? So what I am going to do is mv sample1.txt. I am going to rename it to my file.2.txt. So press enter. Now let us check whether sample1.txt exists. So here it will tell me no such file or directory. But if we try to search for my file2.txt, here it will tell me this file exists. So what has happened? That successfully my file has been renamed. So this is the use of the mv command. Now next I am going to say suppose I want the confirmation from user that yes, rename my file. Then what I could do is that again let us take one example mv, then you have to use the option -i my file txt. I will now rename it back to sample1.txt. So, but the new thing that I have done is that I have just used one option -i. So here press enter. And now let us see whether the sample1 exists or not. So sample1.txt. So see here it has been renamed. So this is how you can utilize the mv command. Now after this, we are going to see the copy command. Now we all do this copy in Windows, right? So say suppose one particular file is there. Again, let us take example of the sample one. So what I am going to do? cp command. Now sample1.txt, and I am going to just put the content of this file in sample3.txt. Now the thing here is that sample3.txt does not exist. So cp command will create a file called as sample3.txt and copy the content of this sample1 into this sample3.txt. So let us see the content. Let us check whether we are having sample3 or not. So see here, successfully content of sample file 1 is copied to the sample3.txt. So this is how you can utilize the cp command. Next we are going to see the join command. Now say suppose I have created two files, cat student1. Okay, let us see the content of this. So here I have taken two students, right, Ajay, Sujit and Vijay, and say suppose their birth here is there here. Again I have created one second file, cat student2. Here say suppose their marks are there. Now note here in both this file this delimiter is there. See, whenever you want to use the join command, you need to have some common delimiter in both the files. So I will be connecting both this file. So I will be using an option called as -t. Then space, quotation, colon. Then I will write here student1 space student2, and let us check the output here. So see here the contents of both these files are joined and the output is like this. So this is how the join command will be utilized. Now opposite to join is split command. Suppose say you are having a very large file, right, and you want to divide it. Now say suppose by default actually it is divided into 1000 lines per file, but we don't have such a large file. So I will take only that my file.txt and I will split it into say suppose 20 lines. minus 20. Then I will write here my file dot txt. So what I am going to achieve by this split command dash 20. 20 means what? I want my files to be of size 20 lines. And then my file dot txt. Now what this split command does is that it will split it according to my preference, and the files will be named as XAA, XAB, like that. So let us see what happens here. So it won't show me anything here, but I have to just click here ls command. Now if you observe here, XAA is there, XAB is there, XAC is there, XAD is there, likewise. So these are the output of the split command. Now say suppose let us check the content of this XAA file, cat XA. So this is displaying the first 20 lines of that my file.txt. Let us check cat AB. So this will display me further 20 lines. So in this way, my file.txt was a huge file. So it was split into 20 lines according to the my preference by the split command. So split command is mostly used to divide a larger file into small files. After this, I am going to discuss the last option, that is file saving and redirection operator. Now say suppose this is the output of the ls command. Now this is displaying the list of directories and files. Now for some reason I want that this whatever is displayed list of files, that should be stored in a file. So I am going to use the first operator ls, this less than symbol, and say suppose I want to store this in out.txt. So let us press enter. Now this out.txt was not existing. Now let us see what is the content of this out.txt. See, whatever the names is there, whatever was output of the ls command, that is seen in this out.txt, isn't it? So this is how you can utilize this particular first operator, that is the less than symbol. Say suppose I have shown you one more redirection operator, that is to less than symbol. So let us see the use of this. Now say suppose I am having cat list1.txt. So here say suppose I have created first list. Okay, this is my usual list. And say suppose I am going to again create, means I already created this. I am showing you here the contents. So here second is there, that is say suppose second list. Now somehow what I want to do is that I want to combine the content. Now here say suppose I want to combine the content of this file into say suppose this file. So what I am going to do, I am going to write here cat. Now let us first check. Suppose if I write here list2.txt, then this symbol, then list1.txt. Press enter. Now let us see the content of cat list1.txt. See, the contents of list2 has been appended to the contents of list1, isn't it? So this is the use of this particular operator, redirection operator. So I have shown you the use of this particular operator, and I have shown you use of this double operator.